Hello guys and welcome back to the Heroes Hype Amateur Series. We did it! We've made it! It's finals time! We've got Lzuruha Gaming, we've got the Goon Squad, and of course we've got Messiah. Hello Messiah.
Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight?
Hanging in there. How about you, man?
I'm trying to hang in there too. It's been a long day on both sides, work, casting, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been rough, but we're going through it. We're doing it. We're being strong about this, and we're going into the finals as strong as we can. And we're gonna see which team can go for the glory here and take that prize of that fame.
Yeah,
So.
guys. That's so true. Stay strong with us. We only have one best of 3 left. It's going to be some good games here as we're starting off on Sky Temple. So let's hop over to the draft. And it looks like Lzuruha had first pick, first ban, and is banning Zagara with a Lost Vikings ban from Goon Squad. So specialists galore in the ban phase.
Yeah, they're banning them out and saying, okay, we might have seen you play Vikings before, and we know they're going to be OP on this map. Let's just ban them out completely. And the same thing goes with Zagar. It's a small map where mauls get thrown around, and that can be a deciding factor in these team fights. So while we wait, while we see the bans, let's talk about the first pick there from Lzuruha Gaming as they end up picking up Jaina.
I mean, she's a great, strong first pick. She does so much damage, both to structures and sieging, and of course to heroes, and she's great lane clear, so great all along, or all around. But Goon Squad responding with Vala and Sylvanas, so both choosing to pick very strong damage dealers here at the outset.
Yep, and that's something we've been seeing following Goon Squad in other games. Is you see that Vala Sylvanas pick, especially on Sky Temple. It's going to really work out nice in their favor for pushing those towers, pushing those gates, inner forts, keeps, and making sure that the temples are not wasting their ammo on not the main objectives, which is those forts and keeps. So it really helps out. On the side of Lzuruha Gaming, though, we do see them end up picking ETC, who, as we know and as we've seen from plenty of games, that he can be anywhere he wants on this map at any point.
Yeah, we always talk about him being anywhere he wants, but he can also be anywhere he needs to be in a team fight. We've seen some really good ETCs, like Kiefer's even, being able to jump right into the back line and sort of destroy the back line. So even if they're trying their hardest to keep team members from getting on the back line, you can't do anything if he jumps right on top of them using that stage dive. So that's a really nice benefit to ETC, is always having the tank exactly where you need to be in the team fights. And then also a Rhaegar pick, so they have chosen their main support, and Tyrande and Uther for Goon Squad.
Another one of those picks that you see that Goon Squad has been synergizing, really well together. We have Uther with the stuns. We have Tyrande lunar flares coming out, lunar stuns coming down. We have just the amount of damage that Vala can do at one time, and we have Sylvanas where she puts that damage out consistently. She's going to go with Envenom most likely, and the fact that when level 10 comes around with that Wailing Arrow, it's going to hurt. So how does Lzuruha Gaming counter this? And they pick a Nova.
And Diablo.
Yeah, and a Diablo.
Goon Squad says, yeah, we got Tyrande and Uther. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to really try to take 2 tanks? And Lzuruha says, sure. And they pick up Diablo, so they have Diablo and the ETC along with a Nova here to deal with the squishiness that is Vala, Sylvanas, and Tyrande. And man, Lzuruha calling Goon Squad's bluff.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. So Goon Squad has to think, who can we use to tank? So a choice that I would have here to start it off would be, you can do Mirrodin. Stitches would work really, really well in this because it's close engages, and if you can get that one perfect hook out on, say, Nova or Jaina, it's going to be GG for those. But we end up seeing Tyrael.
Interesting.
Very interesting pick here. I wonder what their logic is that they're thinking. Judgment would be great on either Nova or Jaina. Maybe that is what they're trying to work here. They're trying to go for those extra squishy burst damage where they can get them down before any sort of ancestral healing goes out. Because if you kill Nova and Jaina, you have 2 tanks and a healer. From just looking how the damage of Goon Squad is, you're definitely going to have the upper hand. So if it works it out that way, Goon Squad's going to be doing some damage here.
Maybe they're even thinking a judgment on Rhaegar to stop that ancestral heal, and then they can quickly burn him down so they won't have a healer there. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, one, if Lzuruha can do the damage they need to do and try to keep people away from their very few damage dealers, especially that Jaina. And 2, whether Goon Squad can keep themselves alive with really, I mean, they've got Uther and Tyrande, so they can definitely get heals, and it's not just an Uther, but Tyrael, of course, being one of the squishier warriors for sure, he's going to need more heals than perhaps like an ETC.
He's going to need a couple more heals. And now, another thing that we do have is we do have Tyrande, but another thing that you're seeing nowadays is Divine Shield from Uther, not Divine Storm. So you do have 3 melee and 2 ranged in Lzuruha's composition. But if they need that little bit of extra support and just to stay alive a little bit longer in these engages, I could see Divine Shield definitely being picked overall.
Definitely Divine Shield, but will they go so far as to pick Sanctification? I doubt it.
I don't see it either, but you never know though, because I've played in matches where I knew what it was, but other people was like, what is he casting? Why can't I kill anyone else? So not a lot of people see it, so not a lot of people know what it does. Just like how Kerrigan at some point dropped out of the meta completely, and when she was brought back recently, everyone was just dying nonstop because no one knew how to counter her. No one knew her full potential because she was kind of hidden for so long.
It's like, wait a second, this hero is in Heroes of the Storm? What?
There's heroes? Is there heroes?
I don't know. Is Kerrigan in Heroes of the Storm? I guess she is. Alright, well... I was trying to say that they didn't even realize that Kerrigan was in the game, but I don't think... Never mind. Anyway, I'm just going to introduce the teams now. We've got the Goon Squad back once again in blue with Hasti on Sylvanas, Dayun on Tyrande, Get Up on Uther, Teebs on the Tyrael, looking very fly there, and then Goat on Vala.
And on the team of Lzuruha Gaming, after many, many weeks of saying their name, we have said it perfect all night, I believe. So good job from us. We have Pirate Rum on that Jaina, Spurbeck on that Fancy Diablo, Evan on the Nova. We do have Maid on Rhaegar, and down below we have ETC J Kerps.
ETC down bottom. I guess that makes sense when you have the 2 tanks. Things are going to be a little bit different. We'll have to see how Vala fares laning against that, for sure. Alright, so pulling up the talents here. Just wanted to see what Tyrael is going to pick. He's going to pick Purge Evil here as the first talent. So more of a damage build than, say, like a Regen Master, which is what I thought he might do, as he's the only tank on the team.
You can see he's already taken a little bit of damage from the snipe from Nova. Evan coming down here on to try and do something with Goat, as J Kerps is kind of just stalling him here. As you can see, snipe does go out, but Goat is going to be close enough to his gate to be able to escape that death. Up top lane, we do see Hasti, Get Up, and Dan pushing that top lane, which is the current meta at the moment. 3 top, 1-1. So much damage coming out, and we do see that lunar flare coming down, but it's not going to actually do enough damage. Damn, in a bad position because a lot of damage going out. Spurbeck is going to go in there, charge, and overpower, and just completely body block. And that is what Diablo does.
They're able to pick up the first blood here. And Vala actually, for the first time I think tonight, going for a little bit different of a build, is going to go for Rancor here. So going to be looking more towards single target, which makes perfect sense since you've got those 2 tanks there. You're going to really need to be able to burn a single target. Later on, probably going to get that giant killer to go along with that build. And right now the team's just switching out 1-for-1 on the temples here, as on bottom, Goon Squad's picking it up, but top one is going to Lzuruha Gaming.
You can see from Lzuruha Gaming, they definitely have the better advantage with the experience at the moment. Now they are going to acquire this from the middle, and this is not looking good for Goon Squad, as the fact that there's going to be 2 temples that were taken by Lzuruha Gaming. So, unfortunately, Goon Squad does lose out on both of them. Not going to be a huge advantage, as both teams are still very well in this match. Made up top is taking a lot of damage. Needs to be careful from get up, as we see Sylvanas banshing over there. Just not going to be able to do anything though.
Both teams are level 5, so we do see the same in talents. And just looking at talents, Jaina did choose to take Snowstorm at level 4, so increasing the radius of Blizzard. A lot of times we see the Arcane Intellect, or even sometimes the Envenom, especially if they've got someone else to kind of stack that Envenom with. But taking the increased radius of Blizzard, I've seen that take a couple kills before in other games, so it definitely can make that work.
Yeah, I mean, the radius on it is something that really helps in these small pocket engages where you see that they're small points. So if you can get a Blizzard down there, Spurbeck coming down here, and unfortunately Go is just going to be destroyed, as perfect teamwork from Spurbeck, Evan, and Jacobs to secure that kill. But up top, nonetheless, though, we still see that 3-man push, and they are about to take these towers down and get some experience their way.
Yeah, that will definitely help them stay caught up, even though they lost Vala there early, or a bit earlier. And we do see level talents for both teams. Once again, unstable poison for Sylvanas. So clearly we're seeing Goon Squad, their Sylvanas player, has just a little bit of a specialized build going on here.
Yeah, Sylvanas build so far, okay, and Venom is something that you choose quite often, but the fact unstable poison, that's something more of a wave clear. Unfortunately, Evan is caught doing his stealth tricks, but they're just going to force back as Spurbeck was about to come in and disengage that. Bottom temple has arrived for the next temple phase. As you can see, down bottom, Jacobs is already ready there. He's already soaking up some of that damage and doing some work to Goon Squad.
Spurbeck is actually here, maybe looking to take somebody out here as they head into the temple, but there's 4 members of the Goon Squad here coming in, with the 5th not far behind. Now they've got all 5 here and a little bit separated for Lzuruha, so they're going to back up a little bit, get back into the fray, and now they're going to try to engage in here, and this is where it's tough to fight, guys, every time. J-Curve sliding in, taking a lot of damage though, but there goes the Blizzard. It's going to drop a coat and get a preload. ETC will be the first to drop though, and here goes Diablo as well. Maybe, can they get him? They do get him, and Rhaegar not far behind. And now, Goon Squad is commanding that team fight. They've picked up the temple, and now they're going to push with it.
And just looking at that last little bit of engage, Evan actually almost died right at the end there. I think he only needed to be hit a little bit more, and he would have ended up going down. A good overall play from Goon Squad, as they are going to acquire this bottom temple. So, worked in their favor, and they are on track to hit level 10 first.
In this game, interesting to note that Uther has taken the Clairvoyance over the Cleanse that we usually see them getting in that level, so definitely prioritizing vision here, and it's understandable. It's coming in handy. I mean, they've got it right there. They knew where the heroes were, but they also knew that they were about to level 10, so they didn't have to disengage from that. And they do hit level 10. They picked up their heroics first. Let's see what they grab.
Yeah, Tyrael ends up taking Judgment. Tyrande, Starfall, Vala with the Strafe. We do see that Divine Shield popping up from Uther. And again, Sylvanas, that top pick, Wailing Arrow.
I don't know if I've ever seen the other one.
I've seen it in a quick match, and I was like, WTH, what
The heck?
what was that? And we actually ended up winning the match because he kept turning the siege, the Giants, in their favor.
Oh, Judgment on Evan takes out the Nova so fast. Now they're following in on J. Crypt, who will get an Ancestral Heal, and they might come back in here, but they don't have Nova, so they've really got to be careful. That's one of their basically 2 damage dealers down. Oh, a good breath from Diablo will ensure that everyone has to get out, followed by an ETC jump in, but a perfect Divine Shield will save Dan momentarily, but not from that precision strike, as she will be the next one to go down. And now Goat will follow, and 3 down on the side of Goon Squad. So these guys really trading back and forth in these fights.
Yeah, it's a lot of blood being just shared on both sides, as both have an equal amount of kills. Now, something that I have to question is that last engage on the side of Goon Squad, no one really had their ultimates up, and everyone was kind of in a rough position. I think, honestly, they should have just kept falling back as fast as they could have and not really stumbled around. But unfortunately, it happened in the favor that Lzuruha actually punished them for going over and after Nova completely like that. So they're going to take this bottom temple down here for Lzuruha Gaming. Up top, though, we do see Tyrael Teebs. He's going to take it for Goon Squad, and this is going to be an equal trade of temples, 1-for-1 this phase.
Ooh, Lzuruha being very gutsy here, going after the box. They know that Uther has clairvoyance, and Uther could throw it down at any time, but actually they used it so that they could steal the bruisers here, and now the boss is almost down. I think maybe Goon Squad's figuring it out, and there the owl goes through, but it's going to be too late. Lzuruha picks up the boss, is going to be out instantly, and has their level 13 talents to boot.
Yeah, we see Lzuruha Gaming does pick up the boss. That's going to be heading up the bottom lane there, very slowly, but sure enough. And a blue team hero was killed. That was Sylvanas, who was a little bit too far deep for comfort and ends up getting picked up from Lzuruha Gaming. So they end up clearing it off, making sure that all their lanes are okay. And now, as we see, that bottom boss did do some damage. Overall, though, nothing really to worry about at this point.
Both teams murking up, trying to push lanes, get ready for the next temple phase. It should be a single temple once again, but they're a little bit random, of course, as well. And we do have 13 talents for, let's see, that's the Goon Squad. Spell Shield on Sylvanas.
And down below, Lzuruha Game is going to start working on that giant camp, and they end up succeeding in taking it. Now, just to go over with Sylvanas, you said Spell Shield. We have Tyrael with that opposing will. Tyrande with Sprint, just get out of close encounters. We have Vala with Giant Killer, which is going to be key against those tanks. We do see Uther with that Shrink Ray. So, very clutch picks here coming from Lzuruha Gaming, or not Lzuruha Gaming, Goon Squad on their next talent choices.
Yeah, that Spell Shield makes a lot of sense when you're facing a Nova and a Jaina. And of course, the Giant Killer, like you said, there for killing the tanks is something that they're going to have to be constantly vigilant about, since there are 2 very tanky tanks on the team. Alright, so we do have 2 temples actually up this time, mid and top, and they're getting into a little bit of an engagement on top here with a great precision strike. Helps take out Sylvanas instantly. Go is strafing, but took so much damage from the lightning breath that just basically had to get out of there with it and didn't throw a lot of damage out the way she would like. And on top of that, losing Tyrael too. that fight once again going in favor of Lzura, and they're going to be able to, at least initially, take both of these temples.
And there's only 2 words to describe that. Holy Nova.
Yeah.
The precision strike was so on key that you could just see ETC was almost completely dead. Oh, get up in the wrong spot at the moment. It's going to be taking a lot of damage. Overpower goes off, and poor Uther's just caught out. Not a good call from him being in the middle of that. To go back to the precision strike, it was on key, and they couldn't get ETC down. They could not get that final kill on him, and that precision. Oh, that was a very clutch play. Very good job from Evan on that.
Yeah, one of the best precisions probably one of the best I've casted, definitely. But now with that, with all those kills, and with the experience they've gained from taking out so many structures, we see Lzura has picked up their level 16 talents and imposing presence on both of those tanks. So not only are they being annoying, throwing people around, but on top of that, if you attack them, your attack speed's going to be slowed by 50%.
Yeah, so it comes to that point, and there's another engage going on. Precision Strike does go out at this point, does a little bit of damage to go on the Vala, but it's not going to be enough to actually drop him. Teebs is behind enemy lines, as you do see Jay Kurps coming down with that stage dive to do a little additional damage. Spurback, Lightning Breath, just spreading the teams out, scattering them to the wind all over. As you can see going down here, Jay Kurps taking a little bit of damage, but they're on pursuit of Uther. As we do see Gillyweed has dropped the game for a second. She is now back. She is now playing in this match. So, great victory on that for Lzura Gaming. Yet again, awesome engage, and good job from them.
What beautiful imagery you were able to give to us. I just want to let you know. Oh no, I might be dropping again.
No.
Yep, I'm going to reconnect back in. Oh no, guys, it may be router cycle power time, but we'll try to make it through this game as much as possible. I'm going to let you take it away and let us know what's happening, though.
All right, so Lzura Gaming ends up going to the giant camp on the bottom on their side and ends up securing it, so they're going to take that. So on the bottom lane right now, Lzura Gaming is completely on their side. It is completely red down there. We do see that they are heading over to the Bruiser camp as the next temple phase is about to begin in about 25 seconds. Now, just to go over everything, Lzura Gaming is projected to hit level 20 first, but not in this temple phase. Maybe if they go and secure some extra minions, that's possible. But no, they're not going to wait for the temple phase. They are going to go to the Bruiser camp. Jay Kurps going in and stealing the Bruiser camp. Precision Strike going down from Nova. We see Hosty on that Sylvanas taking a lot of damage. Stage dive does go down from Jay Kurps. Spurback taking damage in that lunar flare, but he's going to be okay. He's going to be fine, and they're going to continue this fight. Get up in the wrong spot at the wrong time as he is in the backline getting caught, but he is still up, and all 5 members of each team are up, but Uther gets caught at that last stint from Jay Kurps with a little bit of damage. Uther ends up going down. So, victory for Lzura Gaming on that team fight. Temple has been reclaimed right now as it is just about to start shooting its bolts off, and this is looking pretty dire for Goon Squad, as if they let Lzura Gaming go at this, they're going to hit 20 in no time.
Oh, well, I'm still on attempting to reconnect, and I'm not really having problems with anything else in my internet. I'm worried that it is some sort of connection to Battle.net or my game, but it looks like maybe Lzura is going to take this then, is what you're saying?
From how it looks, but you never know. Daeun getting pulled out there, overpowered and knocked back, and this is not looking good for Goon Squad. Spurback going in on that attack. He still wants to capture some of this. Hosty gets pulled up there, gets slammed, and is trying to get an overpower, but Divine Shield does go out from Get Up. Still in hot pursuit from Lzura Gaming. Ooh, actually Tyrande does go down. Sylvanas, goes down, and this fight is still going on as Get Up gets pulled back from Jay Kurps as ETC does best with the body blocks. It's definitely turning in the favor of Lzura Gaming as they continue to push this bottom lane, and they might potentially go for the win here as 3 members of Goon Squad are currently down, leaving only Tyrael and Vala still up to do work. Unfortunately, though, Lzura Gaming is going to say, let's give them a break, and they're going to back off and capture the rest of that temple.
Guys, I'm really sorry about this. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm trying to get back into the game. If I can't, then thankfully Messiah is doing a stand-up job as with a radio voice here. Sounds like the game. Right, yeah, you're rocking it, man. Sorry to make you do that, but we appreciate you.
So Lzura Gaming goes down to bottom lane. They end up taking the boss with no contest from Goon Squad because they're not 20. Actually, right now it is 20.5 versus 18. Lzura Gaming definitely knows they have this in their pocket at the moment as they do take the giant camp on their side. On the other side where the giant camp is, they are also going to acquire this as they are on their way over there as the boss pushes up on this bottom lane and it is almost at half life. So it's not going to do a crazy amount of damage on the core, but this leaves the advantage for Lzura Gaming as they're going to end up taking that middle temple finally and getting those last little bit of shots off. So Goon Squad ends up finishing the golem. They're going to head to the middle lane, clear out with Sylvanas, but unfortunately Hosty is in that rough position but ends up getting away. Dayon tries to get that lunar flare out but gets penalized by Spurbeck dashing in there, doing the overpower, and gets knocked out of the fight for another 50 seconds. So we do see Spurbeck going back in with another dive and a possible overpower, but is not getting in. But we do see Jay Curbs coming in with that stage dive and goes right for the end of the group here. Precision Strike goes out, and so much damage across the board getting dished out to Goon Squad as we do see Spurbeck on the hunt. Get Up goes down from the lightning breath, and Spurbeck is just spewing the lightning everywhere. And this is going to be in the favor of Lzura Gaming, as there is just nothing that Goon Squad can possibly do since they are level 20. And unfortunately, at this point, Lzura Gaming does take game number 1. Whew.
That was awesome, man.
Phew.
Everybody,
It's rough,
please.
It's rough.
It is. It is. Please give Messiah a hand. That was some awesome radio broadcast so that we could hear at least what was happening in our game. Lzura will take game number 1 with the 2 tanks. And thank you, man.
Thanks.
I appreciate you. All right.
It's rough. It's rough doing solo casting. I used to do YouTube videos of it, and it was just like 23 minutes of nonstop talking. So it's definitely rough. But I'm glad I can do it for you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. That was great. I know the stream appreciates it. We're going to give you a little bit of a break to grab some water, maybe stand up, stretch a little bit, and hopefully, guys, we'll get back in. I hear that other people are having BattleNet problems, but I will do my best to get back in for game number 2. We'll see you guys hopefully very soon.